Boys and girls watching, today we are going to talk about some crawly little animals that crawl down underground. Are you ready to talk about them? These are called underground animals. That means they live where? Underground. That was easy, wasn't it? Underground. That's right. They live underground. Let's look at them. Oh, some of them are creepy crawly. Ooh. But some of them, yeah, I do see some over there. So
I like snakes.
me too. So let's talk about some of these animals and creepy crawly things. Let's look at the first thing I see. We talked about these insects before. These insects like to crawl down and they make tunnels down into, we talked about them before. Ants, that's right. And why is it called an insect? Because it has how many legs?
6.
Yes, because it has 6 legs, that's right. So the ants, they are one of those kind of underground animals or insects that like to live underground. They make their home underground. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Animals and things that like to make their home underground. Could you imagine if you had to live under the ground? That would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? It would really be kind of funny. So let's look. Aren't you glad that God made us different? He did, but it's fine. But if God made us one of these, then it would be normal for us to live underground. So now let's talk about some other things. Oh, I see something right there peeking through that hole.
A snake.
Yes, a snake. Look at that. A snake definitely makes his home underground. He will slither himself and make a hole down in the ground. Sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes in your backyard you might see a hole and it might be a snake hole. So you don't want, every time you see a hole in your backyard, you never want to put your hand down there. You never know what kind of animal, or it could be a snake, that has made its way, his home, down inside underground. Now, let's look at something else right here. Oh, I see. Oh, you know what that is? Well, it does look like a squirrel, but it isn't Frisky Whisky. It's a chipmunk. Yes, Kayla, it's a chipmunk. Oh, chipmunks are so cute. They just eat their food and they get them right there in their cheeks and it looks like that when they get their food in their mouth. But a chipmunk will do the same thing. I always thought chipmunks just lived up in a tree or made his nest or a little home like up ground, but they don't. That was something new that I learned, that they do. They make their home down underground, and they will bring grass and different leaves and things, and they will bring it down and make a home underground. And then sometimes you'll see that would be another hole that you might find in your backyard. And then they'll just pop their head up and they'll look around, and they're looking around to see, and then they'll just come up and they'll scurry along just like a little squirrel would do and go look for food just like the squirrels do. But it does look like a squirrel, but it's different. It has colors like stripes on his back, and it doesn't have so much of a fluffy tail like a squirrel does. It has a different type of tail. So that's the way you can tell that it is a chipmunk and not a squirrel. Well, let's look at a different kind of animal. Now look at this animal. It kind of looks like a rat. You are right, but it's called a mole. Say that with me. A mole. Now, a mole is kind of a silly looking animal. It's so neat. Look at him. He looks kind of like, almost like a little, I don't know, almost like a platypus without that big long beak that a platypus has. But then he's got these big long claws, and he's kind of furry like a guinea pig. Like, he's just different. I don't even know. But God knew how to make him, and God made him perfect, because as for God, his ways are what?
Perfect.
Yes, but I wouldn't want a mole as a pet. But a mole will do the same thing. They get in your backyard and they will start digging in your backyard. They will. And they will make a home in the ground. So that's another animal that likes to make a home ground. He can use those big claws. His hands are big, and his long fingers and his claws, and he can just dig to go down and make his home. Look at it. And remember, we talked about how they burrow down in the ground. They burrow down. That means that's where they do. They burrow down, they get down, and they make their home down there. And that's what they do. Now let's look at something else I see. Oh, Now, this is really funny because I've seen one of these attached to my brick wall. It's a snail. I've seen it. I have one at my house. You have one in your garage? I have one, it's like, I feel like it's my pet. You do? Oh, fun.
It doesn't eat my clothes.
It doesn't eat your clothes? Well, he has a pet snail. Wow, I'm glad it did. You do? Awesome. Well, I'm glad that it does not eat your clothes, but usually you will find snails in the ground. Sometimes if you're digging in your backyard, maybe you're having fun and you're digging and you're making mud piles or something fun, you will find little tiny snails in the ground because that's where they like to live too. And then sometimes they like to come up and you will see them crawling around looking for food. And I have one that lives right there by my front door and I see him. But sometimes when I come home, he's not there. But then when I wake up in the morning, he's there. So I think he just comes out during the day and he crawls up and then at night he goes away. And then when I'm at school, I think he comes out looking for food and then he goes back in. So I don't know. But snails are fun to watch. They're just kind of really slow, aren't they? They go really slow. Yeah, have mommy ever said, you are slow as a snail today because you're going so slow. Snails are just slow, but they just kind of make their little homes down inside the ground. And look at this long, skinny thing right here. Do you know what that is? It's called an earthworm. Yep, it's called an earthworm. An earthworm, he lives in the earth. He lives down in the dirt. He loves to live down in the dirt, and he is really long. And sometimes you will find them on the sidewalk, and you'll just see them slithering along on the sidewalk, and they'll make their way over to the other side and go down into the dirt. And they live down in there. And they're called earthworms. What are they called?
Earthworms.
They are. And now look at this spider right here. Now, this spider is not an insect, is it? No. Why is it not an insect? Yes, you guys are getting so smart. It has 8 legs. This spider is called a trapdoor spider. Say it. A trapdoor spider. And a trapdoor spider will make its way. Look what he did. He just goes and he makes his home down inside of the ground, just like the other kind of snakes or other kind of insects and bugs and animals that you see here. Oh, now again, if you see a hole, would you want to stick your hand down in there?
No.
No, it doesn't matter how big the hole. It could be a tiny hole. It might be that trapdoor spider. It might be a mole. It could be an earthworm. You don't know. So you never want to just stick your hand down there or stick anything down there because those animals and these different things need to have a way to get out so that they can get up here and get food. Because you see, they like to come up here and eat sometimes there's mushrooms there that they like to eat or just little plants that they like, and sometimes they need the plants to make soft homes for themselves, and they will make their home. Where do they make their home?
Underground.
Underground, that's right. They do. They make their homes underground. Some animals make their homes up in a what?
Tree.
Up in a tree in a nest. Some of them make their homes just down on the ground. Maybe they make a little tiny nest on the ground. And some of them even make their home inside of a cave. Who would make their home inside a cave?
A lion.
A lion or a bear. And then what's it called where a fox might make their home?
Underground.
A den. A den, like a little den, they would make their home, but there's also animals and different kind of bugs that make their home where?
Underground.
Underground. Isn't it neat to learn about God's creatures and his different creation, how he made some animals to live above the ground and some animals to live below the ground? It's so exciting to learn which ones do what. God has a perfect place for everybody to live, just like he has a perfect place for you to live. It is so fun to learn about God's creatures.